good in the second half. But always have great memories of this place. We loved it here. We loved our time. Such a passionate fan base, especially for basketball. You know, it's certainly a place that anytime I come here, I'll try to go back by our old house. But we had 4 awesome years in Indianapolis.
Front row.
Fred, Tom Bruce, Sports Illustrated, Indiana. You mentioned trying to rebuild in a conference like this is always extremely difficult, but you did have, you were able to get 4 transfers out of the portal this year, and last year was a very active time for everybody with guys coming and going. How do you deal with your roster management through part of this, and do you expect that to continue at that level going forward or no?
Yeah, I think it absolutely will continue. I think you may see it even increase just based on the rule that was passed last year where transfers don't have to sit anymore as a one-time transfer. You know, it's really how we built our program when I first got into coaching at Iowa State, and we brought 4 high-level transfers in that first year. At that time they had to sit, and then you know, with the talent that we added to our lineup, it you know, got us to 4 consecutive NCAA tournaments, 2 Big 12 tournament championships. And it's just a way that we were able to increase the talent on our roster and get it turned over very quickly. So you're going to see that a lot. You know, what we have right now, I think, is a very good mix of transfer older players and also younger players. Getting a guy like Alonzo Verge late in the game when Delano Banton kept his name in the draft was so important to get another player to give us depth in the backcourt and somebody that can play with the ball in their hands and a guy that can really get into the paint and make plays. C.J. Wilcher, Keon Edwards, Keisei Tominaga, and the other 3 that can all space the floor and guys that can knock down shots and make plays. The biggest area I think of improvement for our team is perimeter shooting and also playmaking. When you have that shooting, especially in the world of analytics and taking away the three-point line, what that does for our team is open up driving lanes. You know, we had a shot profile last year that we want to continue with. 82% of our shots were in the restricted area and behind the three-point line, and we feel that we're much better equipped now to take advantage of those situations, hopefully knock down those shots and finish better at the rim. And if we do that, we'll take a huge step in the right direction on the offensive end of the floor.
We have time for a couple more questions in the back.
Hey Fred, Robin Washington here of HuskerOnline.com. You've mentioned that narrowing down the rotation with the returning players you have and then all the newcomers is going to be one of the most difficult tasks for you this offseason. I guess, what's a realistic number you want to ultimately get that rotation down to, and then how do you balance egos a little bit with returners expecting to play and then newcomers wanting to make an immediate impact?
Yeah, that's a great question, Robin. It is going to be my single most difficult part of the job this year is figuring out our rotation, who starts and more importantly, who finishes games, who we can trust in those late game situations. You know, the biggest thing that you have to stress to your team is role acceptance and going out there, whatever role you're given, star in it. And we've got 3 weeks to figure it out. And what we start with our rotation may not be what we finish the year with, but you know, we're doing our best to put the best players on the floor, the best 5 that fit together to give us the best chance to win. And that's ultimately the goal. And you know, coming from a guy that played every role, from being a bench guy, behind the bench guy, and a starter, you know, to go out there and accept it, do the best job you can, take advantage of the minutes when they come, and also practice situations. But again, that creates great competitiveness in your practices. And I've been impressed with our group for the way they've gone out and are fighting for those very valuable minutes. But we've got, I think, 12 that I could put on the floor right now, you know, in certain situations. You know, at the beginning of the year, we'll start probably 9 or 10 in a rotation and then go from there.
And our final question, front row in the corner.
Hey Fred, Jimmy Watkins from the Omaha World Herald. Obviously not a ton of on-court progress going to take place at an event like this, but perception matters to some extent too. What can you, Trey and Alonzo, get accomplished today?
Well, I don't know, Jimmy. I guess, you know, the best thing about an event like today is, you know, to have some normalcy back in our lives and hopefully carry that over throughout the season. You know, still understanding that we are living in a pandemic, and, you know, I'm proud of our group for buying into being 100% fully vaccinated with our group, but we're still taking it cautious every day. We've had players that wake up with the sniffles. We keep them away, get them COVID tested, and thankfully we have not had a positive case to this point. But I think an event like today just brings some normalcy back to our lives, and in the world that we live in, and hopefully we can continue through that. I know all of us as coaches, as players, are excited about getting fans back in our building. We feel we've got a great home court advantage. Our fans have been extremely patient throughout the rebuild that we've had, and I know they're excited about this group. So for Trey, Alonzo, and myself to come out here and talk about the group and the strides that we've made and where we are as a program, gives us a great platform, certainly, to do that.
Well, Coach, thank you so much for your time
Thank
this
you.
morning. Good luck this season.